and welcome. Stories of G, stuff that happened to me. Welcome back, number 3. In an attempt, I've asked a couple of friends, have a look at my videos, what do you reckon? And in one of the comments was, try and not look like you're sitting in the bathroom. So although I am, at the moment, still sitting in the bathroom, I have tried to make it a little bit more green. Green is a good colour, my favourite colour. Yeah, so little green there for today. So today's story is I went to see. I've seen 2 eclipses. It's a bit of a lie. I've seen 1 eclipse. I've witnessed 2. I've only seen 1. I 1999. There was an eclipse happened in the UK. A full solar eclipse, and a total eclipse of the sun, as Pink Floyd put it. Did they? I'm sure they did. Anyway, it was happening in Cornwall. Now, with a total solar eclipse, you can see it from hundreds of miles away. But to really know it, there's like a line. It's about 30 to 40 miles wide, something like that. Depends on a whole load of astrophysical type stuff. But yeah, so there's this line. If you get onto that line, it's amazing. Like, really amazing. If you're just to the side of that line, it's good, but it's not amazing. You know, it's just kind of... There's a story about that, about the other eclipse I saw, which was in Madagascar, which was the next solar eclipse. Another day. So you've got to get on this line, okay? So I've looked at the map, and it's cutting across Cornwall. And across the English Channel, and then off across France, Germany, etc., etc. So me and a load of friends, we book a trip down to Cornwall. I went down first by myself, spent a couple of nights camping there, did a bit of bodyboarding, and then a load of friends turned up afterwards, and we all met up, stayed in the caravan, went and saw the eclipse. Absolutely amazing. So we've gone down to Cornwall, we're on the line. As I say, we're having a bit of a holiday, it's all good. The day of the eclipse comes. Now, it's happening in the morning. It was the 11th of August 1999, it was happening in the morning. So we wake up we're staying in the caravan just above Watergate Bay, which is kind of a beach a little bit on from Newquay, the main surfing hub, you know, and so you go on to Watergate Bay. We did a lot of surfing there that week, that was really good. We're in a campsite just above there, so we wake up in the morning, we all load up. We've sort of had to think about where we're going to be, sort of more or less, kind of, we'll be on the coast somewhere. And on the map it's in this place called Lusty Gaze. So we drive there, we park up as close as we can, walk along the sea path until we find this beautiful spot. It's over this bay. Myself and Tony Ward, we climbed down this really steep bit and jumped down onto the beach. Had a look, there's sort of a big hollowed out bit on the side of this bay cliff. Yeah, it's quite a big cliff to get down to it, but it was sort of grass to begin with, and the last little bit was rocks. And we could sort of see that somebody had been down there, you know. So it was like, well, if people have been down there, we can go down there, we can get back up. No worries, off we go. So we go down, we have a walk around the beach, climb up the other side, pretty good. Back up onto the cliff, and we're standing there, and we're, unbeknownst to us, I mean, we know that Newquay Airport is kind of quite close to us, but we don't know exactly where it is. So we're back up on the cliff now, we're waiting for the eclipse, people are starting to gather, all the way up and down the coast pretty much, you know, on this coast path where we were, just in both directions, there were just people starting to gather. Nobody was getting like that close, you know, every group or, you know, or whoever, you know, had their own space, but, you know, people were gathering for forever. And we're all standing there, and suddenly the red arrows come in right over our head to go and land on the airport, which apparently is like, or the runway, which is apparently is lined up right behind us. So that was pretty cool, bit of a bonus. I've randomly seen the red arrows in various places around the world, just kind of randomly, like not gone to a display, just kind of happened to have been somewhere. It's like, oh look, red arrows have just got over. Oman, Kotal, the airport in Newquay. Yeah, random. So anyway, so the red arrow's gone in, landed, and then it's cloudy, all right? In UK, this was the problem. It was August in the UK, and it wasn't a clear day. So apparently there was a break in the clouds just down the coast, and they did see it. But we thought, no, we're not going to, in UK itself, but we thought, no, we're not going to go to UK. It'll be really busy there, and no, we'll go there. So it just started to get dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, you know, as the shadow starts to move across the sun. You don't really notice it until it gets kind of quite a way across, and then it starts to go dim. Now, the further it gets, it just plunges into nighttime. in the space of like, I don't know, you really start to notice it kind of like 5 minutes away. The light is kind of weird before that, but then about 5 minutes away, you really start to know it's getting dim, you know. The sheep in the field behind us, they start freaking out and running around, like in a big flock, just running around the field, bleating a lot. It got dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, and it's just like, you know, that sort of hour before the sun goes down is condensed into like 3 minutes. It just goes down, and we're all like, oh, wow, is this it? Is this it now? Is this it? Yeah, this is it. And then it'd get a bit darker. And no, this is it. This is it. This is definitely it. And then it'd get darker, and it'd be, wow, no. And then, like I said, sheep are running around. Birds have all gone quiet. Everyone's oohing and ahhing up and down the coast. Everyone's kind of like, wow, what's going on, you know? And then it went nighttime. Just went nighttime. And everyone's like, whoa, this is it. You know, like, and it was just weird, you know, like, it just plunges into nighttime. Because we couldn't see it, you got more time to kind of like look at what was going on. Like I say, this is why I noticed, you know, the sheep are going mental in the field behind us, are running around. Can't hear any birds tweeting at all. You look round 360 degrees and you can see sunlight on the horizon. You know, like, you know, before the sun comes up, you get that sort of shimmer on the horizon, you know. Well, that was like all the way around. You had that shimmer, because essentially we're just in this black dot that's moving across the planet. And then as quick as it starts, I think it lasted like about a minute and a half or something like that. I think I should have researched that. I didn't. Lasts about a minute and a half, and then the lights come on again, and it's like suddenly dawn, you know, and the light just comes up, and it takes 3 minutes, you know, a bit quicker. I seem to remember it kind of got daylight again quicker than it took to get dark, you know. But yeah, suddenly, you know, that shadow goes past you, and suddenly you're in the daylight again. A little bit of daylight to start with, as obviously the sun starts to move away. And then, yeah, again, for sort of the next couple of hours, slowly the whole sun is revealed again as that shadow chased off across France and Germany and onwards across Europe. And it was just, you can't describe it. The other one that I saw was even more like, you know, because you could see it, but to have an experienced one without being able to see it, and it was really kind of scary, you know. If you didn't know what was going to happen, and that kind of came on and happened, it would be a really bit, and you couldn't see what the sun being eaten up, and I don't know, even if you could see the sun getting eaten up, is that any better? Who knows? But yeah, absolutely amazing, and I stood there on the cliff, and I proclaimed to Alice Rose and Tony Ward and Alice's landlady, I can't remember that, Jo, can't remember her second name. Her first name was Jo. And I proclaimed, I was like, right, I'm going to go and see the next one in Africa. I already knew where the next one was, and it was going to go across Africa. And I said, right, I'm going to go and see the next one in Africa. That's my mission. And sure enough, I did. I went to Madagascar with my friend Julian. Lots of great stories to come from there. But that's for another day. So, that was the total eclipse of the sun. 1999 in Cornwall. Amazing. Do it. If you ever get a chance, do it. If you don't get the chance, look, see where the next one is. Do it anyway. Definitely. Stories of G. Stuff that happened to me. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, which is probably down there somewhere. Apparently I've got to say that. Yeah, cool. Have a good one.